Long, uninterrupted and often static shots of New York City capture moments of people working, undertaking their daily routines, and trying to get by, as a voiceover reads letters from a concerned yet supportive mother, wishing all the best for her filmmaking daughter in the big city, hoping for happiness and career success for her, but also hoping that she returns home to Belgium soon. This is Chantal Akerman's News from Home, an avant-garde, personal visual letter to her mother, as if a response to all the letters she sent to Chantal during her time in New York between 1971 and 1973. With a tender-natured appreciation for family intimacy and compassion, News from Home also captures the impact of change within families when we're not present to experience and share in new developments, balancing the want to return home to a loving family with the need to remain in the city to progress with one's career, brilliantly capturing the somber nature of missing out. News from Home is also stylistically inspired by Chantal Akerman's friend and fellow experimental filmmaker Jonas Marcus, whose filmmaking approach also captured personal family revelations in the form of filmed diaries. News from Home is instantly recognisable for its stoic direction approach, utilising often static shots that observe the city and its inhabitants for long periods of time. No image is chosen by coincidence, often taken from locations where Chantal Akerman used to take walks or frequently visit during her daily routines. The imagery can even reflect the concerns within Chantal's mother's letters, such as the camera documenting workers during long and quiet nighttime shifts, as Chantal's mother's words express concerns about where Chantal works, or how Akerman's camera shows a busy street crossing bustling with people, as her mother's letter expresses a sense of loneliness in not being able to see her daughter. What could be lonelier than being surrounded by hundreds of people, not one of them being the person you wish to see the most? Chantal Akerman's relationship with her mother was an exceptionally close one, Akerman having chronicled their relationship within her filmography, and often viewing her feminist filmmaking as the filmmaking of a loving daughter. As Akerman's mother encouraged Chantal to pursue her career in filmmaking rather than to marry young, a progressive mindset is shared, but at times it can be difficult for her to keep her word of support. Within Akerman's mother's letters, much of her personality and emotional complexity can be gathered. She wants to support her daughter in any way she can, but she worries she will be viewed as selfish in her wish to see her daughter again soon. Akerman's mother is often compassionate, caring, maybe even quite pushy and overprotective of Chantal Akerman as an adult. And in a way, would we expect anything less from a loving mother? In how Chantal Akerman reads her mother's letters via the voiceover, she is calm and empathetic. It's likely the sense of missing a loved one is reciprocated by Akerman, her imagery of New York contrasting much with the words of her mother's writing. When Akerman's mother expresses a concern about money and how she would visit Chantal in New York if she could afford it, she details how Chantal's father wishes to buy land to build a house, and all Chantal's mother wishes for is a little garden. The garden may be a pipe dream. Concerns about finances and the health of Chantal's mother and father are expressed throughout the film, but with the optimistic hope of a garden, Akerman's film depicts a landscape not suited for a garden, an extreme contrast of urban life, densely populated buildings, and at times an unflattering side to New York. Surely Chantal Akerman must have missed a family home to some extent if thoughts of a loving mother's garden are met with constant activity, endless concrete, and non-stop noise so non-stop that, at times, the city's ambience drowns out the words of Chantal's mother, the city overwhelming our director in her necessity to stay in touch and reconnect with family. The final image of News from Home captures the Staten Island ferry's journey away from Manhattan. The ferry ride away from the city is an act of departure, as if an indication that Chantal Akerman's time within New York is to come to an end. Optimistic viewers may even take this as a suggestion that Akerman intends to return home to her mother, the strong bond between mother and daughter never weakened by the time apart, without any voiceover reading her mother's letters for such a long take. It's as if Chantal Akerman is alluding to an end to her mother's worries. This is a departure that offers comfort. Chantal Akerman has grown from her experience within the city and is now coming back home. In conclusion, Chantal Akerman's News from Home beautifully encapsulates the sombre sense of missing out of key family events, birthdays, arguments, relationships, unable to share in the growth and changes of one's family, and unable to share one's own growth and changes with those who matter the most. News from Home is a thoughtful dedication to the strength of Chantal Akerman's bond with her mother, a mother-daughter bond that many may share in or may be envious of, but the exploration of this strong bond is bound to create a sense of reflection for the audience to remain connected with the people who matter the most to them, whether it's a family of blood or a chosen family. Sombre, touching, comforting, and tinged with warming optimism, News from Home is one of Akerman's most personal films. A special thank you to my incredible tier Patreon supporter Gil, and to my super tier Patreon supporters Constantine Bombelli and at Layla Lou 1.